I'm Jim Loeffler, CPA, CFE, MBA, and founder of InTune Business Advisors, where for more than 20 years, we've helped owners transform their manufacturing businesses into financial freedom through superior business valuation, growth, and exit planning services. Today, I want to talk about revenue. And the burning question, is more revenue always a good thing? Think about that for a second. Is more revenue always good for your business? Well, I've got an example here that might show that maybe not always the case. Let's take a look. Okay, here we have a manufacturer with annual revenues of $6 million and their average gross margin is 53%. And we're going to take a look at 3 opportunities from 3 new customers, and we're going to see whether or not all revenue is actually good revenue. So the first one we're looking at here, this first one, we have an opportunity for a job that's quite large. When you look at this, it's $2 million, and that's a 33% increase over our existing revenue base. You might think, wow, this is great, because growth is good. Well, yeah, but look at the margin. The gross margin is only 45% versus 53%. And you have to think about, at the end of the day, hey, is that really going to be worth it to us to actually take on this work, given the resources we're going to have to put towards this, particularly since it's a unique job. It's not something that's entirely in our wheelhouse, and we're going to have to sub out some of the work for expertise that we don't currently have in-house, and that probably is driving this lower margin. So, a couple of considerations here. In the short term, my answer would be, well, no, I wouldn't want to take this on. The margins just aren't there. However, there are other considerations that are more strategic, such as this is a unique job to us today, but if we can gather the expertise and capture that and perhaps hire someone with this expertise that we can then sell to our existing customer base and new customers in the future, well, what would that mean for our margins? And of course, we want that to be more profitable. That would be great. On the other hand, the customer concentration, meaning the percentage of revenues, if this new customer stays with us, they are now going to dominate our customer base. And how beholden are we going to be to their demands, particularly if we have to bring on some full-time staff with those fixed costs? Is it going to be worth it to us? Because again, customer concentration is a very real risk. And buyers of businesses are going to look at that when evaluating whether or not to purchase a business. So that's another consideration. The second opportunity, again, it's a pretty big opportunity, $1 million in revenue, which would be about a 16-17% increase over our customer base. And the margin of 53% is right there. It's right in line with what our average is. This, however, does bring a new twist on work that you've done before. And you're going to have to purchase a $200,000 machine that's specific to this job. It's not something you can outsource. And the burning question that I have is, if we purchase this new machine for this customer job, how much use are we going to get out of this machine going forward? In other words, can we take this new twist or this new variation and sell it to our customer base? And if that's the case and you can fully utilize this machine, then perhaps this is worth it. Okay? Again, One concern that I would have is customer concentration. If this is not a one-off customer, are they going to dominate your resources going forward? That's something, again, that you'd have to consider. But again, if you can outgrow that concentration by taking this machine and these capabilities to your customer base, then perhaps it's not a big concern long term. The third opportunity with this new customer is only $600,000. Okay, that's only a 10% of your revenue base, but their margins are right here. It's what I call a plain vanilla job. In other words, you've been there, you've done that. This is really a no-brainer. Certainly grab this one because the profitability is there. So my point in all of this is not all revenue is necessarily good revenue. If you have to generate this revenue with a much larger cost outlay, then it's probably not going to be worth it. Investors and buyers of businesses, sure, they like certain businesses of a certain size, revenue-wise, but they're much more interested in the profitability of the business. And I would take a $5 million business with a 20% net profitability over a $10 million business with an 8 or 10% profitability any day. So I hope these considerations of profitability, of expanding your capabilities, and expanding your customer concentration all help you to evaluate new business as it comes in. That's all I have for today. See you in the next one.
If you're looking for growth capital, acquire a new business, or sell your existing business in the next few years or even in the next decade, click the link below for a free call with me. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Remember, you know your business better than we ever will. Let's make sure you get a great price so you can enjoy the financial freedom you deserve. I'm Jim Loeffler. Get the insight, get the value, get in tune.